The minimum payment is not a payment plan. It is the cover charge to stay in debt another month. And that sounds dramatic until you see what is actually happening on a credit card bill. Let's make 3 words simple right away. Minimum payment means the least you must pay to avoid being late. Interest is the cost of carrying the debt. Principal is the actual balance you are trying to kill. That is the whole game. Minimum payment keeps the account current. Interest charges you for time. Principal is the real debt. So if you have ever paid your credit card and thought, wait, why does the balance still look almost the same? You are not crazy. You may have paid the bill, but you may not have paid much of the debt. Now, let's walk into the debt hotel. Imagine your credit card balance is a hotel room you accidentally checked into. Maybe it started with groceries during a rough month. Maybe it was a car repair. Maybe it was one emergency, then a few normal purchases that felt small at the time. Now the bill arrives. At the front desk is a very polite clerk named Minimum Payment. Minimum Payment smiles and says, "Good news. You do not need to pay the full balance today. Just pay this small amount and you will be considered on time." That feels like relief. And to be clear, sometimes that relief matters. Paying at least the minimum can help you avoid late fees and credit damage. In a tough month, that can be important. But here is the part most beginners never get shown. The front desk is not the exit. The exit is principal. Principal is the actual balance you owe. If your principal goes down, you are leaving the room. If your principal barely moves, you are mostly paying to stay. Now, meet the landlord. The landlord is interest. Interest says you are still carrying borrowed money, so rent is due. That rent gets collected before your debt really starts shrinking. And this is the moment where the whole thing clicks. Imagine your minimum payment is $50. You pay the $50, the app says, "Payment received." Nice little check mark, you feel responsible. But if $38 of that payment goes to interest, only $12 reduces the principal. So yes, you paid $50, but your debt only fell by $12. That is why the balance can feel immortal. The payment went through, the debt barely moved. This is not because you are bad at math. It is because the bill shows you the amount required to stay current, not the amount required to get free. Minimum payments keep you current, not free. And credit card companies know this. They are not hiding the rules in a secret cave. The terms are there. The interest rate is there. The minimum payment warning is often there. But the emotional design of the bill is very powerful. It gives you one number that feels manageable. Minimum due $35. Minimum due $42. Minimum due $58. Your brain sees that and thinks, okay, I can handle this. But handling the minimum is not the same as escaping the balance. It is like paying hotel rent while standing far away from the checkout desk. Now here is where the trap gets even stickier. The minimum payment is usually tied to your balance and card terms. As the balance slowly drops, the required minimum can also stay small or move down. That sounds helpful, but psychologically it can make the debt feel normal. It becomes part of the monthly background noise. Rent, phone bill, street tree service, credit card minimum, just another line item. And when debt becomes normal, it gets very comfortable staying alive. Now add new purchases. This is the room service cart. You are walking towards the principal exit door. Slowly, but you are walking. Then room service rolls in. A gas tank, a grocery run, a birthday gift, a small online order. Nothing outrageous, just life. But every new purchase pushes the exit farther away. So now you are doing 2 things at once. You are paying a little toward the old balance while adding a little to the new balance. That is the credit card treadmill. One foot moves forward, the floor moves backward. And again, this is not a character attack. A lot of people use credit cards during real pressure. The point is not shame. The point is vision. You need to see the machine. Because once you see it, the bill becomes less mysterious. Minimum payment, front door. Interest, landlord. Principal, exit door. New purchases, room service. Extra payment, staircase out. Now here's the practical part. If someone wants to start leaving the debt hotel, the beginner-friendly framework is simple. Step 1. If you can, stop using that card for new purchases. Not forever. Not as a moral statement, just because it is hard to drain a bathtub while the faucet is still running. Step 2. Pay at least the minimum to stay current. That helps avoid the extra damage of late fees and missed payment problems. Step 3. Put any extra money you can toward principal. That is the money that actually moves you toward the exit. This is educational, not personal financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. But the basic map is useful for almost anyone trying to understand why credit card debt can feel so sticky. Do not judge a payment only by whether it clears. Judge it by what it attacks. Did it mostly feed interest, or did it meaningfully reduce principal? That question changes everything. Because the minimum payment says, you may stay another month. A real payoff plan says, I am leaving. So the next time your credit card app shows a tiny minimum due, read it accurately. It is not saying, this is the fastest way out. It is saying this is the smallest amount needed to avoid being late. Sometimes, that is all someone can do. But if you want the balance to actually shrink, principal is the target. Interest is the rent. Principal is the room. And every dollar that reaches principal is one step closer to the door. So if your balance has felt stuck, ask 3 questions. Did new purchase keep entering the room? Did interest eat most of the payment? Did enough money reach principal? Minimum payments keep you current, not free. If this helped the debt map finally click, subscribe for more simple finance explainers that turn confusing money rules into something you can actually see. Principal is what opens the door.